All right. We should be live on all channels, I think. Is YouTube gone live? Yes. All right. There we go. Welcome from behind enemy lines to Rick's Life as I See It, a 1 hour talk show about guns, politics, anything that crosses my mind. Also answer questions from the listener. You can either send them an email to rickslife@gmail.com or put them in the chat. And also, normally within 24 hours of this show ending, it will be on Podbean, Stitcher, and iTunes for you to download to listen at your pleasure as you're driving around town. There you go. On my panel so far today, I have Sean and I have John Z. Want to say hi, Sean? Anything to say?
Well, hello.
And John, are you mic'd up yet?
Hey, Rick. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for everybody for joining us today.
Okay. Oh, in the chat, we got Patriot, Rich, RL, Midnight Range, and that's on YouTube and over on Gun Channels. Just us so far. So, receive anybody. Oh, I didn't put it in the Gun Channel chat. Damn. Oh, well.
Give me a second. I'll get it, Rick.
All right. Okay. I want to say great show last week. Pretty good. My first thing, I mean, I had a couple topics up there, but the first thing on my list here is I know I'm going back almost a week now, but did you guys get to watch the 60 Minutes on TV, and what did you think of it? I mean, I thought it was, I mean, of course, it was left-wing, anti-gun bias leaning, but I thought Tim Smith of the United States Concealed Carry Association, I mean, held his end up pretty good. Plus, he sang him a good one time on the night strike shall not be infringed. So, did you see it, Sean?
I saw bits of it, and I did like what I see. He's a real cool cucumber when it comes to being under pressure, and I think one of the positives that you can take away from that, or just emulating that, is that when we do panel shows like this and we speak amongst ourselves, we always say that we're preaching to the choir.
I've been saying it all week.
Right. But the thing is it's a dress rehearsal for a situation just like what Tim Schmidt had to do on 2020 or 60 Minutes. Is you're practicing for when you have to do it to somebody that's not the choir, and when he gets gotcha questions and things like that, he doesn't freak out and overreact. He's already got a prepared answer, coolly, calmly, and collectively. So as an ambassador to the Second Amendment, even if it was a left-leaning or slanted interview, he was the perfect ambassador to the Second Amendment that the public can see. They couldn't demonize his performance at all.
No, they couldn't. They couldn't, which I thought was good. Did you see it, John?
I did not.
Well, you missed a good little 10 minutes there.
I'm sure it's on stream somewhere.
Yeah, I bet you find it on YouTube if you look for it. Yeah. So, okay, anything going on in the chat? Oh, Ohio 45 has joined us. So, good to see you. All right, my next one. What have I got here? Oh, it was something that I was on. How you pronounce Jazzmail Outdoors last night.
Jelsma.
Yeah, Jelsma. And we were talking about Wild West gun control. He put up an article there where how, like in Tombstone, where when Wyatt Earp was there, he tried to force gun control on people by turning in their guns when they came into town. And most of them didn't. And that's one of the reasons why the OK Corral actually started, because he was trying to get the guns away from them. And but they were saying, I mean, that's because what it came back, there was an article, somebody said, well, they had gun control back in the wild, wild west, so why can't we have it today? Well, it didn't work back then either, so it ain't going to work today. History proves it doesn't work. You know, that's what we were getting at last night. So, you have any thoughts on that, John?
You're pretty much right. History will continue to keep repeating itself if we don't learn from our mistakes. And as we see as human beings, we don't learn our mistakes.
Yeah.
We really don't.
I mean, it was a lot different back then. I mean, if you misbehaved, the sheriff whacked you upside the head with his gun barrel, dragged you off to the jail, and you stayed there till you sobered up or straightened up or whatever. I mean, today you do that, you get your ass sued. You know, so it's a different time. You know, is the way I look at it. Also, you got any thoughts on that, Sean?
Well, I mean, the way I feel about it is, it's not government's job is not to stop criminals. Government's job is to serve the people. And the only way that you can properly serve the people is to make it easier for them to be on equal footing with their attacker. So every time we have this nonsensical push for gun control, that's not helping the people at all. I mean, I think Squibb mentioned this the other day, but we've tried the gun control push since the Gun Control Act of, 34, right? Everything
Correct.
since 1934 has been gun control, and it's obvious that it doesn't work. So why don't we just try the exact opposite? Because you've had almost 100 years to do it your way, and it doesn't work. Now do it our way, and let's see what happens. Even if for only 5 years, find out and see what happens. And I think the results will surprise you, because you can take every state that started constitutional carry in the last 20 years, and you can look at either their carry rates increase as their crime decreases as proof, or you can just take, liberal media's conjecture saying that, we've got 15 states now that have constitutional carry.
Yeah.
We've got states all over the nation that have concealed carry, and every state that lowers their concealed carry fees generally have an increase in the people who get them and a decrease in the numbers of violent crimes in their area or in their states per capita.
But they don't want to hear that, and they don't publicize.
They don't have to. Anytime anybody wants to not hear it, you can just say, well, Exhibit A, the Chicago example. You have a state that's got very strict gun control, very limiting just constrictions. You have to have an ID just to buy a gun. You still have to wait 3 days just to take delivery of it. You have to, go through an interview with your sheriff to get a CHL, stuff like that. And yet, Chicago's a gangland hellhole because it's not the citizens that you're infringing on that are causing this. It's criminals.
Yeah.
Government's job is not to stop criminals.
I don't know if you got it or not. Sorry to interrupt there. Yeah. You're right. That was my take on it. So I just thought I'll mention that so we got across that. I got a bunch of stuff here, sort of. Okay, I'm trying to. You mentioned the word, but this one always gets me. What we need is common sense gun control.
That's an oxymoron.
But they never tell you what is common sense.
Right. See, the thing is common sense gun control is an oxymoron. Because if you think about it, controlling the people that should have them doesn't solve the problem of stopping the people who shouldn't have them. There is no common sense gun control because you can't control the criminal. You cannot stop a determined criminal. No. The only way that you can get rid of guns is if they all just simultaneously disappeared from human existence and memory. But then we would just go on to the next implement. London Bridge, for instance. That wasn't a gun. That was a truck. And that killed a lot of people on a public road in the middle of the day, in the middle of, a busy metropolitan city.
You're absolutely right. I agree with you there. I mean, it's you're right. It is an oxymoron. I mean, common sense gun control. There isn't any. Somebody said to me, was it today or yesterday? Well, one common sense gun control is, ban the AR-15, the assault weapon. Then that guy wouldn't have gone into the school and shot up them kids. I said he might use one of the other weapons he had.
So he would have put a bomb in there because he was trying to find out how to make those too.
That's what I said to him.
Which the FBI knew about.
He was determined. This is another one of my topics, talking about Florida shooting. He was determined to do something. So, I mean, there was a lot. I mean, they're all blaming the gun. They're blaming Trump, right? But there's as I said, we found out the police have gone to his house how many goddamn times in the last couple of years? Got expelled from school. The FBI dropped the ball.
There's 3 people to blame here. 1 is the shooter. 2 is the FBI. The governor of Florida is demanding that the director of the FBI in the state of Florida resign for his incompetence. That is the only way to make any headway to compensate those people who lost their sons and daughters. That guy's got to step down first and foremost.
Yeah, the head of Florida, not the head of the FBI in Washington D.C.
No, the one in Florida. But the third thing, and the most important, is moderators of YouTube failed the system because he actually put a terroristic threat on YouTube.
Yeah,
they did not stop him.
Yeah.
They didn't ban him. They didn't notify anybody. They didn't warn anybody.
Yeah, more like, and you're right. All they want to do is take our ad revenue away from us.
When it comes to government and control, YouTube falls into that as well.
Oh yeah. You're right. It does. It's a shame. That was what I was going to bring up. I know it can be a touchy subject, but Clover just said it right. 17 people get killed. Let's restrict constitutional rights. Kill 500,000 babies a year. Silence. Nobody says anything about that. But I mean that's a touchy subject to some people. Pro-choice and all that, whether they approve of abortions or not. But it's the same thing. I mean, it happens all the time. Thousands of babies are killed. I mean, I'm giving you my opinion here. So I don't know if you guys like it or not, but that's how I feel about it. I feel like Clovertech does on that. So I see silence from everybody here.
Jimmy had a early watch today, and he read an article saying that, strangely enough, the people with the most outrage are the people we should be listening to the most, and that was students at the event. And my response to that is the only students that I want to hear from were survivors of it, at it. I want to hear the opinions of Tack Daddy's daughters, because they're the only ones that have an opinion that's going to matter to me, because they were there. And they're not going to say that this is a gun problem. They're going to say this is a school security problem. This is a mental health problem. This is a failure to protect the children problem, because it's got inadequate security for a 3,000 square acre campus. Having one armed officer in a campus to try to protect 4,000 students is absurd. It's numerically impossible.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. I agree with you there. That is one guy. Somebody. I was the other night. I was watching Sean Hannity on there, and he was going.
He was on it, man. He was on fire that night.
But like the other night, he said, when 9/11 happened, bam, before you knew it, we had TSA all over our airports. He said you could do the same with the schools.
Well, before we had 9/11, we didn't have Homeland Security. The response for terroristic threats was, now I know G-Webs isn't going to like this, but they created a bureau specifically for this, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, if you want to get rid of mass shootings, you need to get rid of gun-free zones because you have to get rid of the all-you-can-eat buffets for criminals.
Yeah, that you right looking at it that way, you're absolutely correct.
You know, if you get rid of the gun-free zone at the school, right? I'm proposing a bill which I sent to my governor, and I'm waiting for a response. And I'm sending it to Rush. I'm sending it to Hannity. I'm sending it to my Senator Ted Cruz. But it's a program to end gun-free zones in schools. I don't want to elaborate too much because someone else will just try to copy the idea, but it'll end gun-free zones in schools in such a way where if somebody came to a school and they saw a warning sign, they're going to go, you know what? I'm going to go to Starbucks because nobody's armed there. It'll take away the gun-free zone at the schools, which will solve the problem of school shootings.
Yes.
And then they can say, well, now we've got problem of mass shooters going to Starbucks. Well, then Starbucks can adopt a similar program. See, we'll knock it out one venue at a time, one venue type at a time.
And actually, Starbucks is a gun-free zone store, I believe.
It is.
You know, but you're right. I mean, also, I think it was Travis. You know, he's a school teacher on here. Travis, everybody knows him. He would carry at school. I mean, I'm not saying force teachers to carry a gun if they don't want to.
No, and that's the beauty of the situation. You don't have to force the teachers, right? Not every one of them have to participate.
Yeah.
But the ones who do are going to be unknown to a school shooter.
Exactly.
So it's Russian roulette going into the building.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
They won't take that gamble. They want high body counts.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, another thing I noticed, too, maybe I'm just trying to, you know, be too picky, but like they said, when he was up on that balcony up there on the second or third floor, he tried to shoot at the kids outside running through that glass, but it was shatterproof or whatever, and the bullets didn't go through it. But when he shot into the classrooms, a lot of times he didn't even go in the classrooms. He shot through the glass in the doors. So why wasn't that glass shatterproof?
Well, I saw the videos of kids running out through the hallways, and there were bodies in the hallways too. So, I mean, it wasn't just limited to individual rooms.
You know? But, I mean, that guy to me was pure evil, and I don't think anything. Even if there wasn't a damn gun in the game in this country,
government can't stop evil.
Do something, you know. So he wanted to do something. It doesn't matter what it was. I mean, if we didn't have a good damn gun in the country, he was still determined to cause havoc. You know, and the system failed totally. But the bad old black nasty looking assault weapon, you know, takes the heat for it every time. Which you know, as we said it earlier, preaching to the choir here, but it gets so damn annoying. You know, I mean, like on TV. I mean, there's so many news and journalists or whatever are so left-leaning, is they outnumber the good guys like us trying to get the word out there. That's what I find so frustrating. You know? And I don't have an answer.
Jimmy Kimmel needs to be taken to task.
Oh, yeah.
For just outright lying on camera in front of millions of viewers or whatever.
Oh, yeah, he blamed Trump for Sandy Hook here in Connecticut. Well,
okay, so he was trying to say that just this year so far there were 18 school shootings, right?
Yeah.
That's not true. That was a statistic that was spoon-fed to him by Chuck Schumer's personal office. And the thing is there was a gun safety course being taught at a school, and there was a negligent discharge. It went through a wall. No one got hurt. That got counted as a school shooting in that statistic.
Yeah.
That's why it's fake news. That's why people, I thought the job of the FCC was to maintain some level of integrity and excellence when it comes to broadcasting to the masses to prevent artificial panics. And they're not doing their job.
Yeah.
Because if you got a guy who's going to deliberately lie to the American people on camera and use his influence in front of millions of people, and he riles them up in an artificial sense of rage, how is that any different than like Adolf Hitler standing on a stage saying that he needs to solve the problem with Jewish people by killing them all? It's not. It's exactly the same. He's inciting rage with misinformation.
Yeah. Clovers said, I'm assuming that was answered to me. I'm assuming when I said they don't outnumber us. He goes, don't think that or fall for that. They simply have more unified and louder voices. That is all. Which
now there are more non-gun owners in this country than there are gun owners in this country. That's just a numerical statistic and fact. The other thing that I think is funny is they talk about that the money that the NRA spends, to keep baby killers out there is a monumental amount, $200 million, right?
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood spend $1.7 billion.
Oh, did you see that this morning? I was reading it. They're now blaming the NRA for this again because they gave money to the what's that junior? When they had the military thing in school.
ROTC.
Yes, because the NRA gave money to that school to buy air rifles, and he was in it, and he used an air rifle, so that's where he learned to shoot. So it's the NRA's fault.
Our ROTC had what they called M1A drill rifles. They were legitimate M1As, but the barrels were plugged and welded shut, and the actions were bolted shut. So you can't learn anything except how to hump the weight with a rifle like that.
Yeah.
So that accusation or that thing is just nonsense.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, they're coming up with all kinds of wild things.
Right, and they're going unchecked, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
When you let these people get in a public forum unchecked like this, they spread artificial information, which creates artificial panic. And that's what we need to focus our attention on.
Yeah.
Taking those people to task.
You're right. Also, anybody wants to jump in on the panel, I put the link over in Gun Channels. So, hey, John, you got anything to say? You've been very quiet over
there. Sean is pretty much saying it. I mean, with the lack of responsibility in our society today, and like David Wright says, children having children, there is very, very sad and abysmal upbringing of children.
I've got a statistic for you.
So, what's up?
40 years ago, almost every truck in every high school parking lot had a gun rack and a rifle, and we didn't have school shootings.
This is true.
You know what changed?
Yeah. What?
Parents forgot to teach their children the value of human life. Parents forgot how to be parents because they're at work all day and they just put their kid in front of a PlayStation. Parents,
because they don't want to be bothered with them anymore.
Video games' fault.
It's too
I'm not
much
saying all of
them. That's another line I saw today.
Their children of a generation by just letting the internet teach their children.
Because those kids having kids, they don't want to be bothered with it, with the responsibility of taking care of those children that they created. That's part of the cause of these kind of individuals that cause these kinds of atrocities.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. We can go on this topic forever, but I'm going to move on. if people don't mind. But if you guys want to keep on talking about it, I can certainly do that.
That's fine.
Okay. One of my other topics here is, which I'm loving, is all this bullshit on the collusion. I mean, Trump's being vindicated. You know that.
The Russia probe.
Yeah, he's, which I think is great, and he said it all along. And but they've indicted 13 Russians, and the Russians today says so. you know, they don't care. You ain't gonna get no Russians in court. So I mean, to me, it's a waste of time doing that too.
As long as Russia exists, the left will still have somewhere to point that finger.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But what I was thinking was funny is they've indicted 13 Russians, but I bet you those Russians ain't in this country. And
no, they're actually pushing for extradition for those guys.
Yeah, it ain't going to happen. Russia ain't going to do it. I'll be very, very surprised. So I thought that was pretty good. That I mean, I didn't believe they did either. I mean, they won that. He won the election fair and square. He went out there and hustled in all those states. You know
what it did, if anything?
Do what?
That probe, the results of that probe.
What?
It just proves that Hillary Clinton was involved in some form or fashion, because it began in 2014 when Russia already knew that she was running for president of the United States, and they were worried to death that she was going to win.
Yeah.
So it was a preemption to prevent her from getting elected. And then, page 1 of the Democratic playbook is always preemptively accuse the other side of what you're guilty of yourself. So what did they do? Instead of actually doing anything about finding out who they were really trying to meddle in the affairs of, the Democrats said, hey, let's use this as an opportunity to just tear down the opponent. And that's what they did, and they failed.
Oh, yeah. If almost on a lighter note, real quick, Patriot goes, I haven't liked the Russians since the 80s, since they gave Rocky brain damage. That was funny. Yeah, but you're right. That is what the left does. But anyway, I mean, it's still going to come. I mean, unfortunately, they could come right out and say Hillary is guilty, but they ain't going to do anything to her. She isn't going to go to jail. She won't even be charged with anything. You know what I'm saying? I wish can't they at least put an ankle bracelet on her or something?
No, because they couldn't get one to go around or fit around her cankles anyway.
But they just, it's just not going to, so Patriot says, true story, not a laughing matter. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, let's do my, it's half time here. But let's do my instinct quiz for a gun channel. Damn, my tripod's falling over. This gun channel's patch and my patch. I'm lost for words there for a minute. The Spotted Rick patch, which were kindly supplied by Owl and Anchor for me. I've been talking to her to get some new ones, with the monocle on there and the mustache. So I'm working on that right now, but this is the one I got for now. So the question is, let's see if I can find it now. Is it still in there? Yes. The question: the M14 is technically still in service today. What is the modern version of it called? That's the question. You want it again, or we got an answer? No answer yet. Let's read it again. The M14 is technically still in service today. What is the modern version of it called? Rich White's got it.
Rich White, yes, sir.
Yes.
Congratulations, Rich.
Yeah, Rich. I don't know if I still have I don't think I still have your address. I'm sure you won before, but email me your address and I'll get these in the mail to you. I mean, to be honest with you, when you guys email me your addresses, I don't keep them. I write the envelope out, then I delete it because I don't want you guys to think that I'm creating some sort of list here for I can sell your addresses off to some.
Well, I'm pretty sure they weren't thinking it till you mentioned it.
They didn't think about it until you just mentioned it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I might keep the email to add to my list for when I stuff, but some of them I don't even keep. I just want you to know that
list.
I'm honest. Just call me Honest Rick. But I tell you what I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for a bowler hat.
Ano's got one.
Who?
Ano.
Yeah, oh yeah, but his is a real one, which would be nice. But if you guys can even find a plastic one for me, send it to me. I'd appreciate it. I'll have to look. I mean, I should be able to find it in a sort of like
I can tell you exactly where to get one. Same place I got mine. Party supply stores. They usually sell like New Year's bowler hat looking things.
Oh yeah. Could even look on Amazon. Actually, I bet you I could find one on there. So that's what I need to wear when I'm on my show here, my bowler hat. So, all right,
I think
we got our winner.
I think every contest from now on that you have should be a giveaway for a bowler hat.
It's what? Give them a bowler hat, did you say?
Every giveaway you do now should be for a bowler hat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah.
Ohio 45 on the gun channel side. The answer was M39 EMR.
Oh, thank you, John. I forgot to tell the people the answer. Yeah, Rich got it. So, okay. What else I got on my list here? Oh yeah. I mean, I noticed that a couple of more. I mean, like our state here, Rhode Island. Bump stocks are still in the news here. They're trying to pass that. Trying to get bump stocks and trigger ban is what we're trying for. And I still think it's happening in some other states as well. Mainly, from what I can figure out, it's happening in the states that are so anti, like up here in the Northeast, California, and that sort of over that way where this is happening. And we were saying this. Where were we talking last night? I've only, even though I'm an old guy, I've only had guns for 2 years now. So I don't know what a free state is.
Yeah, you got in this game later than I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I never thought about. I'm not afraid of guns, and I've never said anybody couldn't have any. I've never been anti-gun. But I just never had any. And it was only, people know the story. It's only since I got hurt that I started feeling that I'm not 6 foot and bulletproof anymore. That made me start getting into it. I bought the first one for protection, and that's the old M&P 45, full size.
Two-tone.
And you can't tell me any different. This is the 45 ACP is the way to go. It might be slow, but it's still gonna hit your ass. So there we go. And I'm even practicing here with my laser, aiming across the thing there. It is unloaded, and look, it should come up with a red light. See it?
Hey Rick.
You're dead.
Hey Rick.
Yeah.
Before I forget, I just want to quickly interject. If some people haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it yet, go check out Clover Tech YouTube channel. the other day they had a panel of people discussing the mental health issues with children. And if you have not caught that uh, live stream yet, please go take a look go on YouTube, go to Clover Tack channel, and check out that video they had.
Yes, I did, Patriot, but I'm going to be quite honest with you. I haven't had a chance to actually sit there and read it. I was going to do that after the show. Maybe, because you normally give me good information. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, what else I got on my list here? There was something else. What's the next page? I need to go back a page. Oh, yeah. It's another one. I was telling people I was going to go, I think it was on my Wednesday show, I was saying I was going to go shooting the next day on a Thursday. Well, I did drive down to the range. I'm pulling in there, and I drive right up to the range. I'm driving up to the pistol range. I see people out there shooting shotguns at the skeet ranges. They have that nice concrete round shaped thing and all this kind of stuff, and they're out there, and the parking lot's nice and dry over where they're parking and shooting. So I pull into the pistol range, and I'm pulling in there, and I said, "Damn, this feels a bit sluggish here in my truck." I thought something was wrong with my truck. Well, I get there, turn off, open the door. I have trouble getting in the thing, getting out of it. I just swing myself around and let myself drop. Well, I swung around, let myself drop. I went up to my shins in mud.
Waiters at the range.
So I went, oh, hell. So I dug myself out of the mud, got back into my truck. What a mess my truck's in. Right? And I had to put the damn thing in 4-wheel drive to get out of there because it was sinking. So I thought, okay, let's go across the street because they have a range that is actually undercover, and it has a cover on it and tables in there. And I don't use it that much because it's set for 25 and 50 yards only. So, but I said, well, it's undercover, and so it should be dry. So I go over there, I get out. You can't put and it sits, the way it sits like in a bowl. So I get out, and the damn thing is under 2 foot of water. You can't get out to the target to pin up the target because they already have the wooden stands already out there, and all you do is walk out there and put your target up. Couldn't get out there. It was under 2 foot of water. I went, Jesus Christ. So, but this way, I didn't shoot a damn thing. I did. So to console myself, I drove up to the gun store and bought me some reloading supplies so I can reload my 45 ACPs. So that was my day of shooting. But where I was going to go with this is, what made me bring it up is even there where I could see, because I said where it was sort of flat before it got all muddy, people had been out there shooting and leaving the brass all over the ground. Man, that pisses me off.
That's a gold mine if I could pick it up.
Oh yeah, I normally do. I pick up mainly the 45s and the 9 millimeter. I'm gonna start reloading 9s. I know you can buy it cheap, but I enjoy reloading. It's the only reason
I'm going to.
You know
how I always said that buying 9 for me is cheaper than reloading it because I have Freedom Munitions down the street.
Yeah,
that's true for ball ammo, but for the first time in years, I had to go buy Spear Gold Dots in 9 millimeter, and I had sticker shock. I was like, "How much for 20 rounds?" So, Squib is sending me a care package of more brass than I really need, but I'm gonna make 300 Spear Gold Dots for the price of buying 60 retail.
Yeah.
So I will reload 9, but just for self-defense ammo.
Yeah. Now that's the thing. I only do 45s for plinking, basically practicing hard. I mean, because it's Full Metal Jacket. I haven't thought about doing for defense ammo. I mean, should I reload my own defense ammo, or should I rely on the manufactured stuff?
You have the stuff to do it.
All you need, I mean, all you need is the actual projectile itself.
Well, if that's all you need, then you're done.
You know, all you need, basically, all you need to buy is a, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here, Sean.
Powder,
No.
measuring tools.
No, I got everything to reload. It's the projectile. Come on. What do you use for defense ammo?
Hollow points.
That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. My brain just wouldn't come up with it. So all I got to do is buy the hollow point projectile, right? Is really to reload my own, but
So why not do it if you have it?
well, on my reloading on my full metal jackets, I've had the odd one that hasn't fired, hasn't detonated, and I've had to rack the thing, pop it out, and keep on going. That's not what you want in a self-defense situation.
Clovertac says if you do load defensive ammunition, you should carry using the published load data if at all possible.
Yes, I agree. I mean, but my question is, what does everybody think here in the chats and in the thing here? Do your own or buy manufactured, defense ammo?
Okay, let me chime in on this.
Guarantee.
You have the key to consistent reloads and hand loads is being consistent. So if you don't dick around and you pay attention to the process, you do it correctly, you run just as much chance of a primer malfunction on a reload as you do a factory loaded ammunition that's on a press. You have the exact same odds. If you do your powder right and you buy the right projectile and you have good brass and you use, the proper primer and you do all of it correctly, your odds are the same. And if you load enough of them, and you take them to the range and you shoot some of them, you tune your pet load for what works for you, what feeds well, what shoots well, what has good enough velocity. If you shoot into gel, you can see what actually makes the bullets expand properly, things like that. Once you dial it in, you're done. And then you just repeat and you do it consistently. And then there is no standard deviation at that point, because you can take factory loaded ammo and put it on a target and you can shoot a 10-shot group. And I guarantee you that if you took your time and you measured it to the 100th of a grain, you can get tighter accuracy with your hand load as long as you do your part. You do your part, there should be no apprehension.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'll be honest with you, that was early on in my reloading. It hasn't happened in the last, I don't know, last 500 or 600 I've done. It hasn't.
I've had 2 plinking loads.
What?
Where I've done 2 loadings, and it happened when I first started reloading, where I just forgot to put the powder in the case, and it only happened on one round.
Yeah.
But thankfully, the primer was enough to shove the bullet out the barrel, and I've never made that mistake since.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've had 2. It was early on where the primer was struck, but it didn't fire.
Hang fire.
I got home and took my old hammer thing, and there was powder in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I've had hang fires on factory loadings. I mean, it's just shit luck. It's going to happen whether it's a factory load or not.
Yeah, so for example, on the gun channel side, Pete says his concern is primer detonation. On the YouTube side, depending on where you live, Clovertac says pet loads could be a liability issue. So, I mean, it can happen factory or not, right?
The only liability I can see is if someone took you to court, like you shot them, it was a justifiable shooting, right? But they're still going to take you to court. and they'll say, he made his own bullets. How are they going to prove that? Because what if you reloaded factory brass? I'm about to get a bunch of factory brass from Squibb, right? They're going to be cleaned. I'm going to load Spear Gold Dot bullets into them. How are they going to know if I put a Spear bullet into a Spear case? There's no legal liability there whatsoever because they're not going to be able to prove that it was a hand load. Now, if it had a bunch of Starline brass on the ground, they could say that. But even then, if it's a good shooting, what basis are they going to come at me with?
So, I mean, like here on the gun channels, it's Pete, is that who it is? Says, my concern is primer designation. Yeah, I mean, so what is a good primer? I'm using CCI right now.
So do I.
So that is a good primer.
Yeah. The only times I've ever had a bad primer, I used Winchesters.
I heard that. That's why when I first started, I went with CCI because somebody recommended it. So I said, well, let me give it a try.
Right. And the thing is like, what primer does the factory ammo loaders use? Because I'm pretty sure CCI makes them. Somebody makes their primers. They're not making their own primers.
Yeah.
And if they are, what makes you think that the quality of their primers are better than someone like CCI? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Better yet, how about military ammo or like Marine sharpshooters? Every single one of those rounds is a hand load because there's an MOS for a master armor or something that makes those target loads for snipers. I've seen it. They actually covered it on How It's Made or something like that on History Channel, and they showed a guy that's in freaking like Washington that makes bullets for a living for the Marines. He handloads every single one of them.
Yeah.
So they don't have trust issues.
Yeah. Hey, Night Strike.
Hey, sorry I'm jumping in late.
That's
Was
all
out
right.
running errands.
That's okay. We're talking about reloading defense ammo for yourself.
Huh.
Would you do it or use only,
Sure, I'd do it. But I'm surprised that Sean actually showed up for a reloading chat.
It turned into one.
It turned into
Now,
one. And he's
let
been
me-
very
Let me put a
informative.
caveat in that, by the way.
He's been very informative.
I'm not going to take my hand loads and stick them in the magazines of my gun that I carry on the first loading. I'm going to take that first loading, take it to the range, see how it works a few times before I decide, okay, I can depend my life on these. That's why I bought some factory gold dots first, because that's what I carry while I'm tuning a pet load.
I'm not saying don't test your reloads first before carrying them. I'm just saying that I would, if I did reload, I would probably carry them. But the caveat is, yes, you got to test them first. You got to make sure that you got them down, like you would a gold dot, or with me, it'd be more like a Liberty Civil Defense round.
My hand loads saved my life. How many people can say that? I killed a 1,300-pound charging bear with my own hand loads.
By the way, Ohio 45 ACP, I got your email last night. I checked it out. I ordered some ammo. I'm waiting for it because I want to test. I'm going to test out some of this Liberty Civil Defense stuff in 45.
Oh, you ordered it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Clover. If I'm going to do it, you're right. I would follow even if you want to call it a pet load. I would still have one that was written in the official data.
Yeah. Use something straight out of like a Lyman handbook. That way, you have some form of defense in case you ever they ever call it into question that you're using all your own loads.
They can't prove it.
Yeah, they
I
can't prove it.
I laid out a great example of how they can't prove it. If you reload factory brass with a factory type bullet, they can't prove it.
Yeah.
I mean, end of story. They can't prove it. You're not going to incriminate yourself saying, "Oh, yeah, it's a hand load." No, you're not. You're going to be like, "That fucker was coming at me, and I shot him." End of story.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. So actually, you give me actually, I might go ahead and buy some decent brass. I'll get with you later for brand names. I'll get some decent brass, some hollow points, and start loading my own defense ammo. Because we were talking about this last week. I mean, like here in this, I mean, I've had this ammo in this. I got 3 of these magazines for that I carry because.
Oh, that's a good question.
My practice one's base plate's black. I have about 10 of these.
Now, which
my carry ones are the same color as my gun. I got to look cool when I pull it out.
Which one is that?
I got 3 of these. What I'm saying is, I fired 2 magazines to make sure it fed when I bought these. I loaded these 3 up, and hell. How long have I had a gun now? I mean, these must got to be a year old at least.
2 years, she said.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, originally I started. I mean, yeah. So, has it been 2 years? I don't know. No, these ones haven't been in there 2 years because I did fire them off again. These are about 18 months old, at least.
All right, Rick. What model and brand is that gun?
My gun?
Yeah, that one.
It's a Smith & Wesson.
Smith & Wesson, what model?
M&P 45.
M&P, all right.
M&P. Full load. Say it has a thumb safety on it. Not because I'm scared of it.
But because it feels like a 1911.
Yeah, that's the reason I got it.
Right.
At the time. Because I was a bit ignorant, too, of guns. But, I looked at 1911s at the time. And of course, I'm looking at the expensive ones, aren't I? I didn't realize there was Rock Island Armory out there.
You didn't realize there was more of a variety than out there.
And this looked close. It looks similar, sort of, to me at the time for 1911. With the thumb safety on it and stuff. That's why I got it.
But you like it, though, right?
Oh, I like it.
There's nothing wrong with it. If you enjoy it, if you like it, then you know what? That's all that matters, really.
Yeah, I didn't lose a shoe in the mud when I fell into when I slid into it. But because you heard the sucking sound as I pulled my feet out to climb back into my truck. Oh, the carpet in my truck. Oh, it's disgusting right now.
You're gonna have to take it to get detailed.
Yeah, it needs it. It's in a bad way. Not only that, the bottom of my jeans are covered in mud. Oh, shit. I was trying to get through the house without traipsing mud all over the carpet. Luckily, I don't have a wife who would nag me about it. But
at that case, as soon as you get inside, close the door, take your pants off, and just throw them in the washer.
That's what I did. And I was hoping maybe the young girl next door would see me, but no chance.
Well, I don't know what to say to that, Rick.
Yeah, well,
and on that note,
she would have more than likely fainted from horror.
Probably.
Yeah. So
wheelchair warrior jumped in.
My hours on a wheelchair. So you got something to put on this reloading topic there, wheelchair?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Talk to me.
Sorry about that.
How you doing?
Doing good.
You reload?
I checked into it, and honestly, I didn't have the funds to invest to get all the equipment, and mainly all I shoot is 9mm. So I started buying bulk ammo from a group called Angel Fire. They do reloads in their factory, and so far I've not had any problems with them.
Yeah,
and it's cheaper than trying to do the investment into reloading.
Yeah, I started off with the Lee reloader where you do one bullet at a time on a block of wood.
With a hammer.
With a mallet.
Oh, Dano's got one of those.
Right? That's how I started. That lasted maybe a month. And I went with the hand press. That lasted about another month. Then I said, screw it. I went ahead and got the Lee Torrent. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So I got 4 I mean, I've got the, the primer on there, the powder, and everything. It's all so,
I always tell this to people when they reload or when they're interested in it. You got to look at it like this: do I buy another gun, or do I buy the means of feeding all my other ones? Because if you look at it like that, and you pause your purchases for one new gun, you can get the entire setup.
Oh yeah.
And then you make your money back. Like you said, you only shoot 9mm, so I can understand why it wouldn't appeal to you. But for me, I got tired of paying $60 a box of 50 for 44 Magnum. So when I started reloading 44, it paid itself off by the 4th trip.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right now, all I load is 45 ACP. Am I saving any money? I doubt it, but I enjoy doing it. That's the reason I do it. And I said, somebody said I have, luckily again, I don't have a girlfriend living here. It's only me and my two Maine Coons. I have this damn thing sitting right next to my computer right here in my living room. I bought the Lee stand. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, like a 3-legged stand.
Tripod
this high, and the thing just bolts onto that. Works for me. It says you should put a heavy weight on the bottom. I just got all my boxed ammo sitting on the shelf to hold it down, the weight of it down. And it doesn't move. It works good, actually. So there we go. But I think I will start reloading my own.
Yeah, I mean, once you find your pet mode, you know what projectile you like, or maybe you don't, but you'll find it. And then it's just a matter of tuning the powder, getting the primer, which you've already selected a brand, which I would recommend because, I mean, they just work. And then just be consistent, Like the reason I use a single stage press is because it's my way of giving myself a check and balance. If I had a progressive, I would get complacent just by cranking the handle all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what I do here, though, is I said, there's one, you put your one bullet in there, you crank it, and then you go around the 4 stages here.
Right. You've got the Lee turret, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a hybrid press.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's quite good. But what I do is I still measure the powder about every 15th or 20th.
Yeah.
When I do. And I'm same with what I do is by every 20th, I'll take one and I'll measure the powder and I'll check the size of the the overall length to make sure
just to make sure it's still throwing the powder consistently.
Yeah.
Even my Lee Perfect powder measure, it'll still throw within plus or minus a 1/10, which is fine.
Yes. Yeah.
If it was like half a grain off, then that might be cause for concern. But it's always been plus or minus a 1/10, so I'm pretty confident with it.
Oh yeah, I am too. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with it, and I'm confident with the powder it throws out there. The only thing I did notice though with I bought some different projectiles, and it wouldn't feed. Then I realized I had to, make the overall length slightly smaller for them to feed into my thing. And I just basically I was trying to do the same powder, same length and everything, and it didn't work. So I had to, change the amount of powder, because the further you push the projectile down, the more pressure you create, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I gotta get the door.
Yeah, but so anyway, I want to do a gun channels blitz, and who I chose, I don't know if he's in here or not. I saw him earlier. Is Storm and Norm G Works.
Uh-oh.
Is who I'm choosing.
That's a good choice.
He's got a few. I mean, he hasn't got many videos out there, but he's starting, and they looked interesting. He had one on gunsmithing tools and stuff like that, and he's done one on muzzle loading and stuff. So check him out. If you like him, subscribe. If you don't. It's that simple. But I just wanted to mention him for everybody to go check him out.
Yeah, I enjoy Storm and Norman. He's got some good videos.
Yeah. So there we go. So actually, I'm up to my hour is up. Anybody got any last thoughts? Night Strike.
Shall not be infringed.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Also, hit or miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock, and check out the Friday Night Strike, 8 Eastern.
And I have your hit or miss sticker right there.
I saw that.
I got Ghost Tactical, Clover.
I don't like the hit or miss sticker.
I don't know if Storm and Norman's in here, but I got your sticker on my thing.
Ah.
Actually, so
I'm not fond of being underneath Ghost and Clover, but oh well.
But you were there first.
I was there.
Can you even handle being on top?
So.
Oh, John, I can handle it.
I don't have a midnight range TM sticker.
Well, what? We just need a giant ham.
Yeah, that's it. So, are you back yet, Sean? No, yeah, okay.
He must have a really long hallway.
I just want to say thanks for the invite, and I apologize for the quietness. My computer is just lagging like crazy over here, so I apologize.
No, actually, personally, I thought this whole hour you've been sitting there eating your fish stew or whatever it is you made.
How'd you know? It was actually really, really good.
You mentioned in the chat you had halibut or something else with it.
Halibut, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I know you were late, Wheelchair, but you got any last thoughts?
Well, if I shot anything other than just 9mm, I would jump into reloading in a heartbeat because I can see where it would save tons of money.
Yeah.
Check out my channel. I don't have a lot of videos right now. I've got several that are on my GoPro that I'm trying to get moved over to the computer, but they're not cooperating. So there will be stuff coming in the future. I'm just trying to work through all the technical difficulties.
Hey, I know the feeling. But just keep putting it out there. That's what it takes. And I appreciate what you're putting out there. You back yet, Sean? Man. So
I do appreciate you guys inviting me to join in, even though I was so tremendously late in getting in here.
That's
always
all right.
happy to have you.
Got stuck on a phone call and
No problem.
I was late too, and they still let me in. So
Oh yeah. So I want to thank everybody in the chats on YouTube and gun channels. I really do appreciate it. I like the interaction we have. I try to keep up with what you're all saying, but sometimes I miss it. So I do apologize if there was something you said to me and I didn't get to it. So, now don't forget Wednesday night we have Shooting with Disabilities. That's at Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully my co-host Wheelchair Warrior will be there. I'll send you a link.
I will be there.
And if you guys got any topics for that, you can email me with them at rickslifeasIseeit.com. And if you got any topics you wanted me to talk about on this show on Saturdays, you can email them to me. I'll talk about anything, basically. Hey, if you send me a topic I don't know about, hey, I can always check. I can always find it on Google they wouldn't lie to me. I'll have an answer for you.
I posted in the side chat. Read what Rich White said to. Just said that's hilarious.
Bernie's date showed up early, and he has to pay in advance.
Oh my Lord.
Well, yeah, I was in a chat with him yesterday, and he goes, "Oh, my girlfriend's here." And we didn't see him for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Now she's the mail lady, but I heard he's got a thing for his boss's wife.
So,
He's playing with fire.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. You know.
He's on the phone with her now.
Anyway, gentlemen, I use that term very loosely.
yes, that's a good thing to do.
You know, I will see you all on Wednesday. If not, I will see you back here Saturday, same time, same channel.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
You know, so
Shall not be infringed.
they're not being infringed. All right. See you all. Thank you very much.